Ladies and gents, welcome back. I hope you had a great weekend. Communist Canada is trending on social media this morning. And that's because of our good friend Joe Rogan, no stranger to communist censorship from the left wing. He, took to his show to say a few words about Canada and our dear leader, Justin Trudeau. A little warning here, if your kids are in the room, earmuffs. Joe likes to drop some F-bombs. But they're in there. So just a heads up right now, you've been warned. So here we go. Listen to what he had to say about our dear leader and our country.
Canada's communist.
Canada's crazy.
They're fucked. They're fucked. They got to get rid of that guy.
How much time does he have? I feel like he's been prime minister for a while. Am I wrong?
I don't know. I don't know how their system works up there. I have zero understanding of their system.
2015. He's been around since 2015. And in Canada, there are no term limits for the prime minister of the country. Elections have to be called by the parliament. And when they're called, then it goes to an election. So he could get re-voted in as many times. John A. Macdonald was in for, I believe, decades. So, from our American friends out there, it's not like the United States where there's term limits. 8 years total for a president of the United States. It's not like that in Canada.
Yeah, I never looked into it at all. I just liked him. I liked him before the pandemic.
Trudeau?
Yeah. I was like, he's a handsome guy.
Yeah.
Seems sweet.
Yeah.
You know, it's like good looking guy, confident, good talker.
Yeah.
And then during the pandemic, I'm like, oh, you're a fucking dictator.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't like criticism. You're trying to shut down criticism by saying that all your critics are misogynists and racists.
Yeah.
You hear he said that about the trucking people, the truckers?
He called them
all misogynists and racists.
Oof.
Yeah, he's gross. He's a sketchy guy.
Yeah.
And he's got some fucking shaky deals. I would like to see like where the money is coming from. Like why do you want everybody to get injected every 4 months? They don't need that anymore. Like what are we doing? What are you doing? You can't even get into Canada unless you're vaccinated.
Can't get in?
No. Make sure that's true. Because someone just told me. Whitney just told me.
Well, let's make sure that's true. Well, here we are. Here is the travel.gc.ca website. This is the government website. Find out if you can enter Canada. Answer a few questions to find out if you'll be allowed to enter Canada. So, assuming this is Joe Rogan asking, so are you a foreign national, including a United States citizen? Here you go. Boom. Now you got more questions. Have you received at least 2 COVID-19 shot doses? Or a combined of at least 2 doses. Select what fits you, and if you have not been, well, you put that there. Which best describes you and your primary reason for entering Canada under the age of 18. A bunch of different things, but if you're just coming here for travel, you would enter none of the above because you're just coming here for leisure. Here we are. Find out if you can travel to Canada for national other reasons. You indicated that you're a foreign national, not qualified as fully vaccinated. Based on your answer, you will not be allowed to enter Canada, even if you have tested negative for COVID-19. Unless you qualify as fully vaccinated, a fully vaccinated traveler, you cannot enter Canada for the reasons such as spending time at a seasonal home or cottage, visiting an immediate or extended family member if age 18 or over, attending a Canadian educational institution as an international student if age 18 or older, childcare for your relatives, a personal or casual visit, air or rail crew, medical worker, transportation or sports, tourism, fishing, entertainment, or leisure. The sports one came up recently. There was a catcher from the Phillies baseball team who said, well, forget it. I'm not going to Canada to play their one baseball team. There's, I believe, another guy a tennis player who didn't enter because and stood their ground. Good for them. But that's the answer, Joe, for that question. You cannot enter Canada as a foreign national without at least 2 shots. We'll see when that becomes the new definition, which is not fully vaccinated definition, has changed now. It's obviously this form is a little behind the times, but they're not going to call it fully vaccinated anymore. They're going to call it up to date, and that means you've had your booster, the latest one in the last 9 months is the term that they're using. But yeah, they want you to get it every 4 to 6 months, at minimum, at maximum 9 months.
She had to show her fucking vaccination card to get into Canada.
That seems.
It's a little.
Like it adds up further.
It's old.
Yeah.
Like it's 2022. It's not 2019.
You know where it still feels, because I think things sway there so aggressively when something happens, where it feels like you're like, wait, what time is it right now? Is in New York. I was just in New York.
Oh yeah.
Everywhere, everyone was masked up everywhere. I was like, what's going on? Why is everyone still masked up?
They're scared. We live here. It's a different place. Like everybody here said, well, I hope I don't get sick. Take care of yourself. Do your best. Get medicine if you get sick.
Yeah, but New York is. It was strange. I was there 2 weeks ago.
It's bizarre.
Yeah.
It's very bizarre. It's very bizarre. They still wear masks indoors. Fucking Ali Wong was wearing a mask at your party. I kept talking to her and giving her shit. She would take the mask.
And then they go on and on and on about other things. But yeah, that's the opinion from Joe Rogan. Canada is communist. And this isn't the first time he's spoken out about Justin Trudeau. Here's another. By the way, I'm pulling this from the postmillennial.com. I'll leave a link in the description down below for this article. This article is basically just quotes from these tweets here, but the link will be in the description down below. Here he is with another guest talking about Justin Trudeau saying that you don't have a right to defend yourself using firearms in Canada. In fact, you're not allowed to defend yourself unless you're using equal force. If somebody is attacking you, you can't use more force, essentially. But that's where the gun laws come in. But you're not allowed to defend yourself with firearms in Canada. And here he is talking about that and how surprised he was to hear this.
We want to protect lives. We just different on how we want to do it.
Did you see what Trudeau said today?
Wait, today?
Did you see I'll send it to you, Jamie, because it is fucking wild. He said you don't have the right in Canada to own a gun to protect your life. It is one of the most wild things I've ever seen anybody say, because first of all, I don't believe it's true. I don't believe he is correct in terms of what do they have up there? They don't have a constitution.
Yeah, no, it is true, Joe. We're not allowed to defend ourselves with firearms. It's not something that's legal in Canada. If you were to defend yourself using a firearm and subsequently injure or kill somebody, you will be held responsible for that. There is no self-defense way of getting out of that. There's no plea of self-defense in this case that would, like in the United States, get you not even seeing any charges. It's not like that here in Canada, unfortunately.
It's not the same, but
yeah,
whatever it is.
It's like, I mean, they're still part of England and all of them over there. Well, they're under the rule of the Queen, technically speaking.
Fuck, someone sent it to me, and I don't know if I saved it because I was so disgusted. I think I might have just fucking threw my hands up in the air. But there's a whole Twitter thread about it that someone had sent to me, and I can't find it at the moment. But essentially what he was saying was that is not what's in the whatever they have up there.
Yeah.
That it says you have the right to own a gun for hunting and for shooting sports. You do not have the right to own a gun for self-preservation and to preserve lives. But apparently that's not even true.
Even if it was true, you have to think about what type of leader you're under, who can open his mouth and say something like that as his justification for doing what he's doing as far as gun control is concerned.
Well, it's the son of a guy who was a politician and a leader and a completely removed person from terms of regular society and the problems that other people face.
Oh, you mean like Joe Biden?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's why Canada is communist Canada is trending this morning, and that's because of our good friend Joe Rogan. But I'm not gonna keep going on this because the video will be too long. But yes, Canada is going towards communism, and well, things are getting way worse. And yes, you cannot enter Canada unless you have had 2 doses of vaccine currently at its current standing under the law. But if you plan on coming here and you have 2 doses in the future, you might want to keep an eye on that, because boosters will be required. And yes, they want you to take those at least every 9 months. This is, of course, until we get rid of dear leader Justin Trudeau, assuming that the opposition will actually be successful in removing this emergency powers that the government are currently. Now, these are emergency measures. We're still under an emergency. They're holding on to that emergency for as long as possible. The world sees it as not an emergency anymore. And this is why there's so much contention on the issue of people being vaccinated or being forced to be vaccinated 2 years after the start of a pandemic. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Do you think communism is creeping into Canada? Do you believe that this is the case? I happen to agree with Joe Rogan. Anyway, we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.